also joined by Kamna Pandey. She is the former cooperative member, co-op member of the Animal Welfare Board of India. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Appreciate your time. Firstly, as an activist, as a person who has worked in this field, how do you actually see this directive? Because it's a slew of directive that's come to the fore. Remove the dogs from areas, get them sterilized, and do not take them back, then remove the cattle from the highways. How do you look at these directives?
I must begin by expressing my deep disappointment at these directions, especially removing the dogs from highways and institutions. Now, highways is different, institutions is different. Removing cattle is different, removing dogs is different. Cattle definitely must be removed. They're not territorial animals. There is no vacuum theory that works with cattle. So with cattle, welcome. Please remove them. Please take them to shelters or to goshalas. Keep them well. With dogs, what happens when you remove them from highways? The dogs from adjoining villages, they are going to still come. You have to make the highways inaccessible to dogs, not just remove them from there. Uh, Secondly, basically, we are not addressing an inconvenience that can be lifted and shifted. We are talking about living beings. We are dealing with living ecological balance. When dogs are removed from one area, new, unsterilized, unvaccinated dogs are going to come and fill their place. This is the same uh, that has been done for years and years. It has backfired. Why are we doing it all over again? Why? See, I actually want to start with due respect. I question the role and expertise of the amicus curiae. An amicus is meant to assist the court with informed, with field-based understanding of the subject. How an amicus curiae with no field expertise, with no consultation of experts, with people who have on ground experience, with on a subject which has such complex behavioral and public health issues. It's a very complex matter. You have to demand evidence. You can't make assumptions. You have not heard us. You have not heard the parties. And you to arrive at such conclusions on such a complex behavioral public health subject without technical proficiency, uh, it risks producing arbitrary and impractical outcomes. That is what has happened. Directly, it is contradicting statutory and scientific principles. It is even contradicting the Supreme Court judgments that have recognized the vacuum theory, that have appreciated the effects of sterilization and putting the dogs back in their place. All of that has been thrown out of the window just because uh, a person who by profession is a lawyer, he is asked to read the submissions that have been made by the affidavits given by states that have no solutions that have been offered, that have not given any sort of on ground experience. Nothing has been taken into account, and arbitrarily, this is a repeat of 11th August, where the court did not have the benefit of being advised by the right people. Again, there is no advice, there is no suggestion, nothing has been taken into account, and arbitrarily you have just this is dictated.
Right. I
This
want to, right. I'll come back to you, Kamna Pandey. I want to go across again to Advocate Jasmine Damkewala. I believe her network is all right now. Advocate, I want to understand a timeline, a time frame has been given, 2 weeks to fence areas and 8 weeks to comply with all the directives. Will it be tenable for all the population of this entire cattle that they've asked to be removed from highways across the country?
See, as far as highways across the countries are concerned, I do not think the time frame is adequate, but at least there is an existence of some gaushalas. As far as removal of dogs is concerned, there are no such shelters. And dogs are not, shelters are not these open spaces. Dogs are going to be thrown in cages, and there's hardly always a paucity of water or food. We've seen horror stories where dogs are being killed because there is no place. Uh, Now, what I want to say is, as far as cattle are concerned, yes, we are not fundamentally, I do not think anybody is really opposing removal of cattle from highways. That will have to be done gradually in a phased manner. And like my colleague said, that you have to make the highways inaccessible. It's not that you pick up animals from highways, because some other animals will come. So you have to make them inaccessible, make boundaries, borders, or whatever, so that the roads are kept free. As far as removal of dogs is concerned, it is not going to make any sense. You remove dogs from whether a highway or any institution, other dogs will come in. And there is remove to where? There is no existence of any such shelters. And these shelters, these cages, the order is I'm sorry, caging animals like that, caging dogs like that, dogs are domestic animals, is inhuman. They are not zoo animals. But anyway, implementation, I don't really think that a 2-week frame would be viable. But anyway, 2-week frame is essentially for identifying highways and spaces. All removal is not going to and not really expected to happen in 2 weeks. It will have to happen in a phased manner if it does. But yes, we
Absolutely.
strongly, we are very disappointed by the order of removal of dogs from places where they were born, where they were brought up.
Right.
And we are not talking about highways here. We are talking about spaces where they've lived, not roads. We're
Right.
talking about that.
Advocate, also our other co-panelist Kamna Pandey had been pointing out that there was no advocate representation of the right kind of people, in this entire judgment. What do you have to say about that?
What I want to say is, it's not about no advocate representation of the right kind of people. There was no advocate representation at all, because
At
all
all.
advocates were told that they will not be heard. Parties were told, everybody was told, you will not be heard. We are passing orders. So we have
Yes.
utmost respect for the Honorable Supreme Court. We have many years of practice. We have seen a lot happening, but we are dismayed by the fact that a court can decide what they want. But we are very dismayed by the fact that we are not even being heard. Nobody was heard.
Ma'am, I want to understand legally, then how do we move forward in this case?
Well, legally, we will have to challenge this order, but we will have to seek a modification or probably move appropriate challenge, because we are moving the same court. This is the highest court of the land. So there were certain facts which were not before the Honorable Court while passing this order, because naturally, if you do not hear parties, you do not know a complete picture. You read newspapers, you see things, you are told things, but the whys, hows, and even whether that information is authentic, that very much is in doubt. So our applications or whatever recourse we will take will have to pinpoint those things out, and shall pinpoint those things out. Why? There has been a lot of media hype, which is mostly fake news, which has been established as fake news, because there were incidents where some girl was told that it was reported that some girl was bitten by a dog and died on a campus in Noida, college campus. Later, next day, the parents protested that my daughter has died from a gunshot wound. It is not a dog bite. There was no dog involved. Such and like many instances have come to light when complete fake news has been published for reasons best known to those publishing, because not all press is not like that. There is some part of the press which probably does not bother to verify, or there is something going on. We do not know. But all we know is that a complete picture has to be put before the Honorable Court, where the Honorable Court can make an informed decision after hearing stakeholders, after hearing parties, after looking at the scientific evidence, after looking at how animal dog management is to take place. Because this kind of order, even if it is implemented, it will be inhuman, not only to against the existing law and procedures, but also be pretty cruel, inhuman, and unimplemented.
Right. I thank you, Advocate Jasmine Damkewala, for joining us. However, before I go across to